The Beeman P17 pellet pistol, single pump, 177 caliber. Safety check, not gonna do it. So, right off the bat, first thing you notice when you pick this up, it is light. For this size of a pellet pistol, and this is a fairly large one, not ridiculously large like the Benjamin Trail MP, but pretty big, but it's very light. It almost feels like it would be cheap, kind of like a, I don't know, like a cheap airsoft gun or something. But it's really, once you get to kind of handling it, it's got some pretty good fit and finish to it. It doesn't rattle at all. There's nothing. It's a solid unit. It doesn't feel hollow like you just got some shell of crap. I mean, this is pretty tightly assembled and just very quality for what it is. Now, the other thing, when you notice, when you shoot this, and I cannot show right now because I do not have a target set up here, but the trigger pull on this, phenomenal. It is almost as good as the old Crosman 1377, which is kind of like my gold standard as far as air pistols go. But it's very crisp, very short, and it's pretty much the second best air gun pistol trigger that I've handled, even better than my rifles. So it's very short, very crisp, very easy, and it doesn't pull your aim off at all. You have some really nice fiber optic sights. They're very easy to pick up. They're very visible. You get green in the back, red in the front, and you have this automatic safety, which I'm not crazy about, but at least it's in a position where when you get a two-handed grip on there, your thumb's like right there if you're doing a thumbs forward grip. So right there, real easy. Manipulation of it is also easy. Opening it up, just pull the hammer back, which is a fake hammer, doesn't actually do anything, it's just a latch. But you pull it up, pull it open, and it folds open all the way. I can show you here in a while when I actually do a shot. But opens up, push it back down after you put your pellet in the back here, and that's it. And your aim, safety off, bang. Real simple, real easy. The weight and balance of it, again, like I mentioned, is very lightweight, and it's very well balanced. I mean, it doesn't feel real top heavy. It doesn't have a lot of length to it. It doesn't feel too fat in your hand. It is a very hand-filling pistol. It kind of looks like it was modeled after a Walther P99 or a Smith & Wesson or SW99, same pistol basically. But it's got that same grip style to it. I believe the latest one is like a Carnick 55 TP9 or whatever the heck. But anyways, you get the idea. It's just modeled after an actual firearm kind of grip. But really, what this is originally modeled after was another model of Beeman pistol, which is way more expensive. This was around, I want to say $35 when I bought this. The other model, which the model number escapes me. I want to say it's a P1, but I'm not sure. Looks really close to this, and that's what this is basically modeled after. But this is way cheaper. You're getting pretty close to the same quality of pistol for a lot less. This is something you can actually afford and, you know, pick up on a cheap budget and still have something to play with. It's really fun, really accurate, really reliable. And along those lines, consistent performance. As far as your velocity, this isn't a powerhouse by any means. It's only rated around 400 feet per second, which is not bad. I mean, if you're just punching holes in paper, this is good enough. I mean, you can get a fair amount of range out of this and still hold some pretty good accuracy. I mean, a lot of the limitations go along with just 177 caliber. It's, you know, it doesn't carry a lot of weight, and it doesn't go long distance very well like some, because it doesn't have enough inertia, you know, with those light pellets. But for what it is, it's good for punching paper, and it's very accurate. It's got a single pump pneumatic piston in there. It's not a nitro piston. It's just a pneumatic piston that just draws air when you pump it that single time, compress it, and there it is. So for its design, it does pretty good, and for a single pump at that. I mean, you know, 400 versus this is 600, but you have to pump this sucker 10 times, and it gets harder every time you pump it, of course. Whereas this one, you just have one pump, and I would say it's kind of a moderate effort for cocking it. It's not easy, especially when it's brand new. I mean, I really had to muscle the thing down, but it's not bad. So it does have a lot going for it in that sense. And again, the sights, they're adjustable. You do have to use a screwdriver, a little flathead screw on the top and side, so for your elevation and your windage. but it is adjustable, and I really didn't have to do a whole lot of adjustment right out of the box. It was pretty close to being on. Now, as far as the negatives on here, for one thing, for only being a 400 feet per second pistol, and I say only because that's kind of average, really. I mean, all your CO2 pistols kind of do about that range. But for only being about 400 feet per second pistol, this thing is freaking loud. I'm not kidding when I say this thing sounds pretty close to like a 22 short going off. It's got a definite pop, and it's not because it's going supersonic. It's just the mechanism, I guess, is what it causes it, because it has a very definite pop, and it's, you know, kind of, wow, surprising. Not something you need air protection for or anything, but it's, you know, compared to this, even when you have this pumped up 10 times, it's still not quite as loud as this. Don't know why. Just something about the design. Another thing is this, of course, I mentioned the automatic safety. You get, you know, when you have it forward, red, ready to fire. By default, when you open this, see, I'll have it right here on the red. When I open it, like that, see, it goes back. So it defaults to safe. When you get in your firing grip, though, if you're doing a thumbs forward firing grip, you can just thumb it forward real easy. So it's not too bad, but it's just annoying because it's another step you have to do every single time you fire it. Kind of annoying. The weird, awkward cocking loading process is another thing I don't like. This part isn't bad. Opening this and then opening. Real easy. It doesn't take hardly any effort to open it because all you're doing is drawing in air. When you actually go to load this, and I'm just going to have to open this up all the way to show you. But right here is where you load your pellets in. You just put in a single pellet, of course. This is a single shot. But trying to get it in that little opening sometimes is kind of awkward because you don't really have a whole lot of room here. You have to just force it in there. It might kind of squish the skirt of the pellet, which is not a good thing. The other thing is when you go to close this, kind of hard to do from this angle, but it takes some effort. Okay, just to demonstrate the Beeman P17 in action here, we have open this, pull it open, load your pellet, make sure your skirt's the correct direction, of course. And this is what I mean, it's really hard to sneak that little booger in there sometimes. So once you get in there, make sure it's flush. Muscle that thing down. Yes, I'm a weakling. And if anybody's wondering, these are just Craftsman Premier hollow points. They're just cheap stuff you can get at Walmart. Now, safety forward. There it is, ready to fire. Now I'm going to shoot this single-handed here, but just so you can see the trigger movement is very small. It's very short for what it is. And as you can hear, it's very freaking loud. So, one more time just to show. Opens very easy. The intake stroke is very easy, but the compression stroke takes some muscle. So, I'm going to try this again with two hands. So, there you go. And the other thing is when this thing is new, this rail on the top for a red dot, which this one did come with a crappy red dot sight, which was garbage, but I just took it off immediately. I had to sand this rail to make these corners smooth because this thing was like razor blade sharp, and when I cocked this thing, it would slice my hand right there. So big negative there. But once you sand it, of course, no problem. Just one of those things you just have to do just to make it more comfortable. And it's been cocked, so I'm not gonna mess with the trigger on here. And as I mentioned, the red dot sight that it comes with, these are available with and without that red dot sight added. I just bought it, the one with it, because that's the only one I saw, and I was like, what the heck, that looks cool, I'll just try it, just because it's cheap, and heard good things about it online. But yeah, don't pay the extra for the red dot sight version, it's crap. Don't really need it, and again, the fiber optic sights on here are plenty good. I mean, they're easy to see, they work good, they're adjustable, you know, windage and elevation, so just no need for a red dot as far as I'm concerned, at least not with this one. If you want a red dot, you can put on something else, and I would strongly recommend another brand, because the one it comes with is just, you know, what do you expect? It just comes with it. It's a freebie. It's probably worth $5. So that's about it. There's really not a whole lot more to it than that. Nothing but really good beyond those gripes and me dropping it. So there you have it. the Beeman P17. For what it's worth, that's my 2 cents on that. Thanks for watching.